Oh, okay. 27, there we got kilobytes. Oh, and I see the video populating on the studio dashboard. That's very interesting. Yeah, I keep getting the thing. Support for Windows 10 is in. Upgrade the device with Windows. It's like upgrade, 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 upgrade. I still haven't checked. When was the last time I checked emails? And the vast majority, it's just, I mean, newsletters from Congress people, sales thing. It's such a flood of garbage. And I have to pay eventually for like more storage. I wouldn't want to be accused of deleting national security things from an attorney general. Anyway, it's a civilian work. It's just a civilian thing. Oh my goodness. We're having a crazy day. I had a crazy, well, everything's crazy. Went out and spent like $100 alcohol last night. I was gonna do a stay inside day, and I just found myself over across the street from the plate from one of the places we drank at. I'm like, I might as well go in there. No cell phone. I was like, woohoo! I didn't bring a bag, nothing. You just sat there for like 3 hours. Usually about that's usually I get like a shot and a drink. Usually lasts me 45 minutes, an hour. I'm not a binge drinker. I'm not going there, toast ripped up. I'm just going there because bored and two closing in on. Well, this is one of the longest times I spent at a place since Iraq. Yeah, if you add up the longest I've been in one place, probably Iraq. Was I there for 2 or 3 years in one stretch? Yeah. Let's see. October of 2016 to like March of 2021 or something. So anyway, just trying to avoid the Civil War breaking out. Well, civil implies like politeness. There's a whole people who they dig that motto. If you could take it, take it. They just come over here to kill us poor Palestinians. Fortunately, we got so many non-Jews who they mistake for Palestinians. It's a really bad situation. It's a really bad situation for you Jews. You're running around with you're running around with your friggin' superstitious, God gave you this land, you can kill everybody on it, and they're your slaves and shit like that. Oh boy, some people, when they get a book, they only read the parts they want to read. They only quote the parts that they think can be useful to them, forget everything else. I'm on a mission. I had this cleaned up a few streams back. A few streams back, I had this area cleaned up, and I could sit down and play this keyboard, so I can like study and learn things. Oh, it's so super stressful though. Well, being able to afford to study. There's so many deranged people. Oh, good job, Drew. In case you didn't know, I'm a small-time movie producer. They're a very, very tight budget with only pretty much one person doing the entire movie. Just money from time to time. It's like fighting terrorism, though. never did look at these prints I got. That goes to the art pile. You gotta make sure I hydrate. Feel like fluttering in my chest and shit. That coronary. It's like all the stress and the bad lifestyle. So I just don't know what to do. I just don't know what to do. I was having a conversation in chat. I wasn't really getting any response back. I think I know I posted a comment. So funny stories, funny stories of alcoholics and addicts. There was a period there where about every like month or two, we were in a situation of giving my one of my younger brothers money to get a cell phone and an ID. See, he would keep losing his cell phones and IDs. He'd wake up and he'd be like, "Whoa, what happened now?" He'd say, "I woke up and now I was drinking. I don't have a phone anymore. My ID's gone." Like, sometimes he would admit to selling IDs to the neighborhood liquor store. He had EBT, but you can't buy beer with the EBT. So what a lot of these guys do is they prefer beer or food, so they sell their IDs because they're not working. They don't need it. You don't need an ID to ask people for money on the street. So that's one of the things. And oh my goodness, I have to remember like the window view. Otherwise, you hear her voice, but not certain if it's me or not. Sorry to confuse you. If this is the doll room, he said doing something, right? One of the things, Instagram adopted the Facebook or the YouTube rule. The YouTube, I can't phone stream because I don't have 1,000 subscribers. So I'd like to walk around on YouTube and show my build more. It seems like I'm on a loop where I just pick stuff off the floor and move them over to where I sleep. And then I'm like, oh, it's clean. And I turn around, the pile just moved. However, that's just the way it be these days. Just waiting for it to pop off. That's how many people in this country don't work. They only get free shit. They just take away somebody's free shit. You can't afford. Hey, I can't afford you anymore. I don't use that language. Like now with the stream on, I know other people can hear me like my vulgar mouth, but I really do try to keep things civil. No messages. I checked my voicemail for the first time since end of September. I had an issue where the charging jack, where it plugs into, was it was broken, so I couldn't charge my phone. I had to mail it into a repair shop. That was a kind of a I was out that phone for like 3 months. I forget when I got it back and turned it on, and just just so many voicemails. Actually, not as many voicemails. See, the last check voicemails on like September 28th. I think I remember the day that the phone was finally didn't charge anymore. So from September 28th, October, November, December, January, over 4 months, 4 and a third of a month, and only 7 voicemails. What was my little stool? That'd be humorous. It's like tearing right there. So we'll see how much longer this can support my girth. Yeah, that's better. Newspapers from ooh, train railroad locomotive pollution causes an estimated 40 billion in healthcare to a cost of 33,100 premature deaths in the United States, according to the EPA's co-benefits and risk. Oh my goodness! Hey, Deaf Noodles. I found a campaign. Oh, you can take on big railroad. They need to pay. They need to pay for that $48 billion in healthcare. Okay, this was January 14th. Economy adds 50K jobs in December. Woo! I have a newspaper pile over yonder. Going through old newspapers. Maybe I should make a stream of that. When I get this stuff all cleared away, and I'll do like a stream where it's just like me like reading old newspapers. Like this one, February 4. Okay, this is just like recent. One day, hundreds of award-winning wines. Ooh, hundreds of wines in a day. Oh, the date. See, I live close enough to San Francisco where it's like you see all the fun stuff to do. Oh my goodness. Can a small radical art space survive the labor fight? Agnes Polata. Yeah, Sandy. Sandy Pants. Anyway, drama from U Street days. Uh, all the friends we used to have. Except some of them are just complete batshit nutcases like Sandy Pants. Food farming and the healing arts. Spring 2019. So the widest tradition. I don't really know. I mean, this is one of those things that the library was selling these old magazines for like 10 cents a piece. They might have even had a oh, national wildlife. How this get in there? Got some pictures of some eagles, postcards, award-winning impact photography. Suppose you just well, got a picture of an eagle. Cannabis and suicide. The risks of cannabis use for adolescents are particularly worrisome. As Dr. Bertha Madras at Harvard has stated, this is not a war on drugs, it is a defense of children's brains. The study in Lancet Psychiatry confirms the importance of protecting young people's brains to safeguard their future health and well-being. The researchers examined the association of cannabis use before age 17 with 7 different developmental outcomes up to age 30. It found, quote, clear and consistent associations in dose-response relations between the frequency of adolescent cannabis use and all adverse young adult outcomes, unquote. Youth who had regularly used marijuana were nearly 7 times more likely to attempt suicide. Wow. Powerful. Powerful. Then again, once you get into the juvenile delinquent, once you get into that system, oh boy, ah, another one for prison. Man, this the hard thing's like, man, you dark sense of humor. Well, I wasn't joking. I mean, prisoners have to do something to earn their food. Otherwise, just like I had two parakeets one time. I went on vacation, and I thought my roommate left a note. We weren't on speaking terms. He saved me from like a very, very, very bad judgment mistake. Still, we were like not on speaking terms. And I left for a week, and when I came back, my little buddies, little parakeets. Well, one of them did starve to death. I came back, and the food, water hadn't been changed. One was like laying at the bottom of the cage, and the other one was completely traumatized. It was a pretty horrible thing. It is, yeah, it's just the way some of you around you just fuck with me. I mean, no, I guess I'm not supposed to use that language. But yeah, just piling on. My brother is one of those dudes who was a suicide. He attempted suicide. He's been smoking before age 17, and he was, yeah, very unstable. It must have been that marijuana, not the basketball bullies or the other kids who like pushed him in the lockers, or getting smell like cat piss. Poor kids, poor people without, you know, aren't poor people funny? Get back to work, slave. I found a gum. No chatters. Just as well. Yeah, I don't really necessarily people who. Hey, Clemmer, just found out you joined the Confederacy. You're gonna lose your pension. You got in war against the same people paying your pension. Well, insider threats. What do you happen when the gunner's mate is on suicide watch? It's like, you can't have a gun, Clemmer. If I catch you with a gun, it better be in your mouth. Old dudes and their hot wives. Quick, cheap, easy way to learn force. Oh my goodness. Add this chord to G, G, B, D, F sharp, A, B. Hmm. The history of art, interior of the palace chapel of Charlemagne, 792 to 805, Aachen, Germany. I thought I was Emperor of France. After the fall of the Western Roman Empire, monumental architecture disappeared in Western Europe. Charlemagne's dreams of restoring Roman civilization can be seen in this chapel, a training ground for the architects of the Middle Ages. Yeah, again, lousy setup for doing the type of stuff I like to do. One of those overhead things on a desk so I can just, oh well. Oh, another favorite gospel song, so easy to record. The Bedford Introduction to Drama, 3rd edition. I wonder how much this was new. It's probably some professor's like mandatory book you have to buy for their class. It's more, it has dramas that the editors, authors put together. Like, yes, Ibsen, Hedda Gabler. Never heard of it. Man, they have Shakespeare and some Greek stuff in here. Oh, Wilde, The Importance of Being Earnest. Chekhov, The Cherry Orchard. Now, I have no context for this, but I just like to read stuff. Act 3, The Drawing Room. Separated by an arch from the ballroom, the chandelier is lighted. The Jewish band that was mentioned in Act 2 is heard playing in the hall. It is evening. In the ballroom, they are dancing a grand rond. The voice of Semyonov Pishchek. Promenade on Paris. They all enter the drawing room. Pishchek and Charlotta Ivanovna are the first couple. Trofimov, Trofimov and Ludibov Andreevna the second. Anya and the post office clerk the third. Varya and the station master the fourth, etc. Varya, quietly weeping, dries her tears as she dances. Dunyasha is in the last couple. As they cross the drawing room, Pishchik calls Grand Ronde Volontaise and Les Cavaliers Anguinils et Rimitier de Vos Bands. Furs, wearing a dress coat, brings in a tray with seltzer water. Pishchik and Trofimov come into the drawing room. Pish, Pishchik. I am a full-blooded man. I've already had 2 strokes, and dancing is hard work for me. But as they say, if you run with the pack, you can bark or not, but at least wag your tail. At that, I am as strong as a horse. My late father, quite a joker he was, God rest his soul, used to say, talking about our origins, that the ancient line of Semyonov Pishchek was descended from the very horse that Caligula had seated in the Senate. But the trouble is, no money. The hungry dog believes in nothing but meat. It's the same with me. I can think of nothing but money. Williams, The Glass Menagerie. Tennessee Williams and Elia Kazan collaborate on Act Murphy, Brenda Murphy. Then they have like some stuff here that's just history of this particular act and playwright. Oh my goodness. Churchill Top Girls, Act 2, Scene 1. I don't know if you reference a line, it's not directly, it's not starting the scene. When a boy or a girl? Well, I don't know these characters. Shona, Nell, those sound like women. Gossip here. Gossip, gossip, gossip. Oh, I picked this up for like, I don't know how much I spent for that, $1. I like these used stores. The Forest. This looks like a very independent publication. A small, small journal somebody wrote, turned into a book. By Stuart Edward White. Is there a date in here? This is one way to put it in the back. Oh, 30 July 2019. That's like self-published. Ooh, high country news. Volume February 4, 2019. $5. Volume 51, number 2. They have a little comic insert in the section. Um, from my church saying thank you for being a member. Oh, here's from a law firm who's trying to help me like stay out of jail because of a DUI on my bicycle. Shorter course in civil government. What year is this from? Another one of these things. I just get excited when I find these old books. Copyright 1875 by Calvin Townsend. Townsend's class books for the use of schools, colleges, and private learners. Prepared for the use of common, select, and grammar schools by Calvin Townsend, counselor at law, author of Analysis of the Constitution of the United States, Analysis of Civil Government, Compendium of Commercial Law, Analysis of Letter Writing, and C. Iveson, Blakeman and Company, publishers, New York and Chicago. Oh, these are other books you can purchase. Shorter course in civil government. I think that's this one. It's 240 pages. That's the one I have in my hand. 269. An elementary textbook for use in private common grammar and other schools. Cloth. Cloth. 240 pages. Analysis of civil government for advanced classes in normal and high schools and other institutions. Cloth. For 340 pages. Commercial law. A textbook for business colleges and universities, and a valuable book of reference for every law library, counting room, and businessman. Sheep. 500 pages. Analytical chart of the Constitution of the United States, a valuable accompaniment to the above works. 52 pages, 15 times 20 inches each on rollers. Analysis of letter writing, designed for the use of schools and for persons in business life. Cloth, 189 pages. What is in this? State governments. Oh, okay, wait, let me go up to the top of this page. Hence, the government of the United States is a democratic republican. Is democratic republican. The term republican, however, is the one by which it is usually known, defined by the extent and peculiarities of jurisdiction. The country known as the United States has two distinct classes of government. These are one, state, and two, federal. One, state governments. Each state, known and defined by geographical boundaries, has a dependent republican government of its own. Before it entered the federal union, it possessed all the attributes of national sovereignty. It could make treaties and form alliances. It could declare war, grant letters of marque and reprisal, and conclude peace. It could raise and support armies and navies. It could coin money and emit bills of credit, and, in short, exercise all the prerogatives of an independent nation. But these powers, and several others, were surrendered to the general government when the state became a member of the federal union. On assuming this relation, the states ratified the Constitution of the United States. By this act, all the states not only created a new government over themselves, but entered into entirely new relations to each other. They accepted the Constitution as the bond of their union. This bond clearly defines what they severally resign for the common good and what they reserve. Two, federal government. The federal government is the outgrowth of this union of the several states. The form of this government is, like that of each of the several states, republican. It has, like the states, three distinctive branches or departments: the legislative, executive, and judicial. The nation has its president and the state has its governor. The nation has its vice president and the state its lieutenant governor. The nation has its Congress and the state its legislature. The nation has its federal judiciary and the state has its system of courts. In many other respects, the pupil will find a close analogy between the state and federal government. If he will make himself well acquainted with the Constitution of the United States, he can easily acquire a general knowledge of any state government by attentively reading its Constitution. He will find that in many particulars the state constitutions are not only similar to each other, but in numerous instances bear a striking resemblance to the Constitution of the federal government. Although six specific forms of government have been defined, they are either monarchical or democratic in character, or a mixture of these. Patriarchal, patriarchal and theocratic are definite forms of the monarchical. The rule of the empire by one man is of the same class. God governed the Israelites by direct authority. The father governs his family by direct command, and the will of the absolute sovereign is the law for his millions of subjects. These several types of the monarchical form are called by different names, because thereby the exact relations of sovereign to subjects are more clearly expressed. It's been a while since I was like that level of high school. I have three of these. This is like volumes A, B, and C. Don't know where the other two are. It's interesting. World civilizations. By common consent, the most capable and successful of all high medieval popes was Innocent III, 1198 to 1216. Innocent, who was youngest and most vigorous individuals ever to be raised to the papacy. More than that, he was expertly trained in theology and had also studied canon law. His major goal was to unify all Christendom under papal hegemony and to bring in the quote, right order of the world, unquote, so fervently desired by Gregory VII. He never questioned the right of kings and princes to rule directly in the secular sphere, but believed that he could step in and discipline kings whenever they sinned, a wide opening for interference. Beyond that, he saw himself as the ultimate overlord of all. In his own words, he said that, quote, as every knee is bowed to Jesus, so all men shall obey his vicar, i.e., the Pope, unquote. Disciplined French King Philip Augustus for his marital misconduct and forced John of England to accept an unwanted candidate as Archbishop of Canterbury. The crown of Innocent's religious achievement was the calling of the Fourth Lateran Council in Rome in 1215. First agricultural revolution. The agricultural worker, the quote, man with the hoe, unquote, supported European civilization materially by his labors more than anyone else until the industrialization of modern times. Man with the hoe. Goodness, we have church ladies. I just can't. I mean, I can. I'm just tired. Tired of a lot of things. I have a book here that's sitting over there. It's a Walt Disney World 2017. Plan your perfect Disney vacation. Travel guide. I don't think I'm making it, bro. You should move to Florida. You should move to Florida, man. Florida. Like, how many states are just bring money, bring money, bring workers? It's a funny thing that the wealth of our nation, or the one that I'm in, apparently is fueled by population growth. How that makes us all wealthier? Well, we have more people to help, right? I've got to pick this thing up. Memorial Address, Life and Character of James A. Garfield, President of the United States by James G. Blaine, February 27th, 1882. Now, is this book really that old? What's this? Appendix. The Senate on December 6th adopted the following resolution. Resolved that a committee of 6 senators be appointed on the part of the Senate to join such committee as may be appointed on the part of the House to consider a report by what token of respect and affection it may be proper for the Congress of the United States to express the deep sensibility of the nation to the event of the decease of the late President James A. Garfield, and that so much of the message of the President as relates to that melancholy event he referred to said committee. The committee on the part of the Senate, having been subsequently increased to 8, comprised the following named gentlemen: John Sherman of Ohio, George H. Pendleton of Ohio, Henry L. Dawes of Massachusetts, Elbridge, Elbridge G. Lapham of New York, Omar D. Conger of Michigan, Thomas F. Bayard of Delaware, J.T. Morgan of Alabama, Joseph E. Brown of Georgia. The House of Representatives on December 6 passed the following resolution. Resolved that a committee of one member from each state represented in this House be appointed on the part of the House to join such committee as may be appointed on the part of the Senate. To consider a report by what token of respect and affection it may be proper for the Congress of the United States to express the deep sensibility of the nation to the event of the decease of their late President, James Abram Garfield. And that so much of the message of the President as refers to that melancholy event he referred to said committee. Huh. What did, how did was he sad? Was Garfield shot? What did happen to Garfield? I have a Warren Commission report on Kennedy's assassination in the other room, much bigger than this thing. Oh yeah, yeah, it is. Memorial address. So he's giving this memorial address. Oh, James G. Lang. In response to an invitation from the two houses of Congress. Memorial address. Mr. President, for the second time in this generation, the great departments of the government of the United States are assembled in the Hall of Representatives to do honor to the memory of a murdered president. Lincoln fell at the close of a mighty struggle in which the passions of men had been deeply stirred. The tragical termination of his great life added but another to the lengthened succession of horrors which had marked so many lintels with the blood of the firstborn. Garfield was slain in the day of peace, when brother had been reconciled to brother, when anger and hate had been banished from the land. Whoever shall hereafter draw the portrait of murder, if he will show it as it has been exhibited, where such example as last to have been looked for, let him not give it the grim visage of Moloch, the brow knitted by revenge, the face black with settled hate. Let him draw, or rather, a decorous, smooth-faced, bloodless demon, not so much an example of human nature in its depravity and in its paroxysms of crime as an infernal being, a fiend in the ordinary display of development of its character. This one would be a good one. It's public domain. From the landing of the Pilgrims at Plymouth till the uprising against Charles I, about 20,000 immigrants came from Old England to New England. As they came in pursuit of intellectual freedom and ecclesiastical independence rather than for worldly honor and profit, the emigration naturally ceased when the contest for religious liberty began in earnest at home. The man who struck his most effective blow for freedom by conscience by slaying for the colonies in 1620 would have been accounted a deserter to leave after 1640. The opportunity then had then come on the soil of England for that great contest which established the authority of Parliament, gave religious freedom to the people, sent Charles to the block, and committed to the hands of Oliver Cromwell the supreme executive authority of England. The English emigration was never renewed, and these 20,000 men, from a small immigration from Scotland, from Ireland, and from France, are descendants of vast numbers who have New England blood in their veins. Why did first she have to go like history? What does that have to do with anything? That was a long time ago. 18, 1882 to, that's like 200 years ago, bro. Let it go, man. Home wind power. Sorry, it's like engineering book. I've been trying to think of a book to try to start reading on a regular. I got this one, one more plays. I have a lot of play books in case you don't know. War commentaries of Caesar, or Kaiser. Okay, I suppose it should be pronounced Kaiser. Kai, as Kaisar. Is there anybody like, no chatters? No, nobody in chat. Am I dropping frames? Let me look this up a little bit. Oh, it's doing pretty good. It's at 0.1%. I have a little bag somewhere around here. I have this little, like gift shop book of soap opera stars. And they have people who like them where they have addresses to send them fan letters and stuff. This is decorative. Don't freak out. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I purchased this at a base store, and I think this one came from Iraq. You see like the soldier on there and stuff. What I like about this is, I'll tell you, there is a fascination with the sharpest blade. You know, it's just, this one's not sharp at all. It's a dull blade. Well, you have to use strength. You know, it's not that it's not dangerous. It just requires a certain amount. You have to really want to hurt someone. I got a Swiss Army knife little thing. It's like it's a mandatory for Boy Scouts once. But I got the Swiss Army, and I just barely. It's, oh my goodness, there's so much blood. I barely could cut my like against. What did I do? Was it here? Was it on my finger? I remember it was just so like just super razor sharp. And you're supposed to give that to like a 9-year-old kid. Here, you know, go whittle. Fascinations. Like, I admit, samurai swords seem cool, and other people have a collection of throwing stars and that type of stuff. At the same time, you know, this I don't want to disrespect the European metal workers. You know how to fold metal, make things. Oh, sunflower seeds. Receipt from how many days ago? Oh, yesterday. I got these yesterday. And I have a receipt pile back there. Oh, Channing. Department of Veterans Affairs. Tra- Channing Emmett Till. Yeah, it's one of those things. The place that I'm holding down and causing it's been flipped so many times. It has so many different residents coming here for very brief periods of time for moving out and moving on. See, it's wrong address. I mean, it's the right address, except there is no apartment 152. The place I'm living in, two-story, and the previous landlord or owner, whatever they are, something that is renting out the top and the bottom separately. So I think it's a single unit zone area. So, oh, people are so upset about zoning codes and regulations. That's why it's right now. That's why it's probably one of these New Yorkers. And New Yorkers sit around their computer desk and they're trying to like, wait, what do you mean it's against the no, overturn it. Get a new mayor. Get a new mayor. I want that zoning code changed. 152. This is A and B, upper and lower, and they're mailing here for apartment number 152. And then again, if somebody like is traveling all the time and needs a home of record, yeah, sure. Unless you actually go to the property, like that Fulton County, the freaking that freaking Georgia thing where they had like apparently like one house, like 1,000 people living there, or at least 1,000 ballots from that one house. Speaking of houses, it's always a humorous to look at how nothing ever seems to sell. I've been streaming for an hour. Oh, 56 minutes. I have to admit, it does help the day go by. I feel less like a crazy person being able to just do like a video blog, a vlog. I heard bloggers, I mean, like this video log, right? It's basically, technically, I like that terminology for it, but I think vlog means something else. I don't know. I've been doing very little writing. I used to write poems, stuff. Poems are cringe, but they also make good lyrics. Yeah, all kinds of stomach problems. My throwing like, no, I hope you get throw up the night before last night. Throw up last night. $100 worth of liquor. Going trying to go to sleep on that. Oh, then I drank more liquor when I got home, and coke, liquor and sodas, and heartburn. It's like just a heart attack, and chain smoking, and just be horrible on myself. I used to not be this way. There's a period back before COVID started, and even after COVID, I was able to get back into I do keto. I had space in my living accommodations where I do yoga. Especially when COVID they shut down our gyms. I did a lot of office yoga. I had my own office. Well, I shared with other people. Mostly, I was just in there alone. Very own office. 4:30. Should take a shower tonight. Should I turn this into a you watch me eat freaking sunflower seed stream? Dill pickle. Got a can of SpaghettiOs over in the kitchen someplace. Probably have to do laundry tomorrow. Make sure to watch Pet Control and Dutch. I really like those shows. Humorous. I used to like a lot of shows. I'm sure there are other shows that I like. So those two shows are like they take place in the workplace. You know, one of them is the for animal control. I keep saying pet control. Those nice cushy government jobs. Oh, to have a government job. Now I understand why government work is so desirable all over the world. Many places it's the only job. Well, if you want money and things like that. Well, government does create the money, doesn't it? I don't know. Monetary theory, how we interact with each other. Boring cringe shit. Yeah, like a gang of people just waiting to knock me and take my wallet and shit. You know, get money the old fashioned way. Just take it from the weak people. That's what you do. It's like so many entrapment zones. You know, people are trying. I saw a young lady come into the restaurant asking if they were hiring, and you know, barely hanging on with the little staff they got. You know, that's what happens when you can't just raise your debt ceiling. Excuse me a second. I'll give up trying to open this thing, I suppose. Wait, I know where the scissors are. Phone. Yeah, write a ode, an ode to the phone. Well, computer, I should say. Computer. More to do than just stare at it and wait for somebody to call, which you know probably phone call. My family doesn't even call me on my birthday. But I have my younger brother's kind of like still realizing we're like family. It's me and my younger brother now. So he's enough stress in his life to worry about me complaining and crying about my lost millions of dollars. And like, you know, it's just no pity there. You know, it's no pity there. To be the only millionaire in the family. Oh, this doesn't have that little tab thing. That was my bad. It doesn't have the reseal tab. Now, what am I gonna do with it when I sell it? All right, get up again. Just stare at this between staring at the phone when nobody calls me or texts me and staring at the chat where nobody watches me. It's just, what else is there to do? I know I'm a very bad lazy cleaner. You're gonna start out this way. When I first got into town, I was trying to do a really good job of going back to my mom's temple. Well, the my mom and dad were different religions until they became Scientologists. So it's like I figured the church would be happy to see me back and away from that godless satanic like whatever Tom's running. Tom Cruise. He, he used to be famous. Now I think a lot of people are just like whatever. Just another has been. Some people are never words, so you got to be a has been or a never word, never was. Why don't you watch Give Wicked another try over at the Dollar General? They have DVDs, and I purchased Wicked there like what was it, a month after it came out of theaters, and it was pretty fast to have a DVD copy. So I got it, and when I put it in to play it, it started freezing like 5 minutes into the movie. Watching it, and it just all of a sudden it's frozen. You don't know if it's gonna start playing again. And then as it went along, it got progressively. I'm like, no. But I got another copy of it. It was better luck. Visually, it was very beautiful. Sentimental reasons for liking Wicked. Yeah, well, it is. Oh, here it is. Your official guide to the stars. The soap opera address book. Oh, back over there. And if there's soap operas on during the day, I should try to figure out this TV. The new TVs used to know where ABC, CBS, and NBC were because there was a click, 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 click. All the stations were right next to each other. I'd move you into the other room, watch me like just shuffle stuff around there and make new piles. He's getting a little longer now. Yeah. 127 a pound Rayleigh's untrimmed tri-tip roast. 127 a pound Rayleigh's fresh chicken thighs with drumsticks. It's kind of humorous. Yeah, I'm keeping my fridge a surprise for I don't know who the lucky person is who gets to come help me clean. I figure if you robbed me, and like it'd be a nice way to try to make amends. Did I eat up all my peanut butter? I was looking for this the other day. Chocolate. Last night I ended up just eating my peanut butter straight. The thriving sex life after 50. Or after 60. It is a thing of idiocracy. The science minds, the scientific minds are like engaged in finding out how to bigger, what bigger erections. Well, that sex must be awesome. I don't know. For people to be that like concerned about it, sex must be awesome. And I can't pick it up. No viewers. Oh well. They go in this one. Do I have viewer? Where would it be? On the dashboard side of things. Oh, I had one view. Somebody watched me for a minute and 4 seconds. Somebody actually tuned in for a minute and 4 seconds.